From New Englandville studio, good morning and welcome to the midweek edition of the program Good Morning Salone for this week, where they come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today now Wednesday, April 22, 2020. We where they bring you this edition of the program Good Morning Salone. Musa is Kamara and Minim.
And Mina Mebel Kaba, good morning. Inside this midweek edition of the program Good Morning Salone, government don't agree for risk allowance to well-body workman them for the next 3 months as part of the measure them for fighting coronavirus. The mayor for the Freetown City Council, her worship Yvonne Akisoya, don't say council no go tap for work at the dump sites where it say authority them from the Ministry of Lands be make them beat the council workman them because they say na council get this land. And today inside the program, Radio Democracy for talk to one member na the Sierra Leone Association of Economists, Christopher Hajibu Kaloko, where they can look inside the impact, the effects where the coronavirus don't get from the country economy.
Well, these and plenty other stories them doing at the program for you, plus the president for the Salone Association of Journalists / Ahmed Sahid Nasrella say, because of the coronavirus we dey now in the country, the print media don't they lost plenty money, and Wakabot self dey inside the program for you. Members say they listen we live on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl, courtesy of Osiwa and powered by Afrocell. The program na Good Morning Salone. You can be part of them by way you can send text message to the numbers 0779819881, 0779819881 are the number for sending text message and be part of the program Good Morning Salone.
The first issue we will look at inside the program this morning na Usai one first head of electrical na the Salone Port Authority engineer Salu Abdul Bangura and encompassing first workman them don't call on the management na the Salone Port Authority for pay them benefits where they say the port management don't hold for over 2 years now. Well then first workmania been talked to Radio Democracy where them they talk about the benefits and say the management at the Salone Port Authority not agree give them. You know Kabia look inside this and gonna report.
Inside 2018, the Salone Port Authority be terminate over 100 workmen and contracts them. We been they work na different side them na the ports. Who side the workmania say some of them don't work for the Salone Port Authority for over 20 years now. From that time day to now, then first them workmania say the port management not being agree for pay them benefits them.
The problem now with regards to the payment of we terminal benefits. Since them we don't terminate they indicate now the letter say then go pay will benefit them, but we will not see management for be committed in that.
Me now be senior superintendent. I don't dey na Port Authority for close to 24 years. Since you leave some of we, they not even make attempt for begin pay we who money them.
Assistance monitoring at the Department of Operation. Now make we try for call on the government, Australia, for let them come to we aid for long will get this money.
The voice them where you just listen to. Now voice of first them workman them, where be they work na the Salone Port Authority. Where be they talk about some of the problem them, where then say, then get with the port management. Then first the workmania continue for talk but then concern them.
So until after 6 months, after negotiations with all the stakeholders, even in the port GM, the port board chairman and several other stakeholders, the labor minister, they all be a party to the agreement for say they for pay with redundancy package as a result of the unlawful sacking. So they begin pay August, come December, then just decide for stop. The total amount we for pay, we then divide them in a cascade by 24 months. They're supposed to pay we up front because we're all different by the level, if you're not senior staff, management staff, so I know we will call so other people their own amount, you understand?
By August, then they call we say, no, all man can take school fees so that we'll be able to settle school fees area. So at the end of the not been getting enough, so we say, okay, Lord, we take this, Lord, we listen for Lord, we wait for the big one. What you can see no man, a continuous half money na they send in my account. At that time they me money and begin sending. But then money they not be do. But from December, then they cut off finally. They not be pay with money again. They not ever communicate with me waiting at the reason.
Then first them workmania end up call on the Ministry of Labor Congress for make them go help them so that the port management go able to pay them back them benefits them. wey im be dey react to the allegations dey am. The deputy general manager na the Salone Port Authority, Yakuba Bio, bin say e no go want for make a record im voice, but bin tell me say dem don meet with Labour Congress, the Ministry of Labour and other body dem wey responsible for workman dem. Usa im say dem be agree say dem go pay dem first the workman dey am dem benefits. Wey make im be tell me say dem don start for pay dem first the workman dey dem benefits inside April this year. Na dem different bank dem through the accounts dem. Wey make im be encourage dem first the workman ya for bear with the port management so tey dem don the process outside dem go pay dem all dem benefits dem wey dem be don work for. For Radio Democracy, Kabia the reports.
The program they listen to now Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Democracy 98.1 FM. As you reform headline today, we will look at the impact of COVID-19 on the country economy. For can help we discuss this issue inside the program, we will get Nicholas A. Kamara, the CEO, Vision Investments, lecturer IPAM Entrepreneurship, National Coordinator, Youth Network for Entrepreneurship Development. Good morning, welcome to the program Good Morning Salone.
Good morning and good morning, listeners.
And same way, so we get Christopher Ajibu Kaloko, member from the Salone Association of Economists. Good morning and welcome to the program Good
Thank
Morning
you very
Salone.
much. Good morning.
Okay, I come to you, Nicholas A. Kamara. We look at the impact of COVID-19 on the economy. We look at the economy before COVID-19. How it been tally?
So when you look at the present, before the outbreak of COVID-19, you realize it's really only in a crippled economy wherein we just belong to try to recover from the mudslide, the external shock of that falling price of oil and crude oil and iron ore during 2014, 2015. However, the present administration is striving for make a change, but the external factors mostly they drag down these challenges when for trying for bringing and up to date the viability of part of the economy. However, when you look at the economic indicators, when you look the IMF predicts Sierra Leone economy for grow at a rate of 4.9 in this 4.8 in 2009, and also then predicting in this 2020, 2020 IMF they don't predict the economy for long grow at a rate of 4.9. But when you listen to the previous broadcast of the finance minister, we realize that this COVID-19 gets a serious hit on all operations of the economic activities in Sierra Leone. Then also when you focus more where I want to look here now on the SME operations. When you look the economic activities of SME operations before the COVID-19, you see most of them they survive on loans, overdraft. So if a business they operates on loans and overdraft, wherein we call it a sustainable management of just within the mega sum we can get, then now we can get an external factor with the heat. It's a real shock.
We can look at the SMEs and the impacts of the COVID-19 on them. Make I come to you, Nicholas. Make I come to you, Ajibu. We look at the impact of COVID-19 on the economy. But before the COVID-19, we look at the outlook of the economy.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, make I use this opportunity where you give me for be here today. Prior to the coronavirus, we all know how the economy be there. In be there, almost be there in a crippled way. We are in most of the sectors not be revamped to the expectations. You talk about the business sectors, you talk about the agricultural sector and almost all other sectors and we all know how from the Ebola and also the mudslide, how the economy beyond the gets so many shocks them externally and internally. So because of this coronavirus don't come, they realize it don't get more shock because of the external factors them from outside source and also the internal factors them just don't lead for the economy for become more crippled.
Okay, in Yemna Ajibu Kalako, you talk about internal factors them and external factors. Let me look at the internal factors they mentioned. What?
The internal factors get to do with the containment policies, first of all. Now, make I just give a global perspective. We all know when the coronavirus starts, it starts as a Chinese problem. From there, an Italian problem. Now, what don't be start as a Chinese problem or an Italian problem, don't become an everybody problem. To the extent that even the global world itself, leaders ranging from America, China, and other countries, they become hard hit by this coronavirus to the extent that it don't disrupt most of the global economic activities where they go ranging from the tourism sectors, the business sector, international trade, so forth and so on. Now, when you come to Sierra Leone, we get to call the spillover effect in economics, wherein if something happen, because the economy itself, if you look at them, interconnected and very complex, wherein if a particular side in a country due to the international trade, it happen, and they get a spillover effect towards the country itself. So because of that, even the coronavirus not be entered Sierra Leone, we don't get some of the shocks them, we don't happen from other countries. So because of the coronavirus don't already come, you find out the containment policies where don't happen like in the area of the fear of the people will be for say then daily business transaction not they happen again any longer. And we all know say according to ILO, International Labour Organization, they say 82.5% of we economic activities they come from the informal sector. And we all know what the informal sector comprises. The informal sector get for with that business woman where they go in the market every day, they sell in cassava, and they sell in potato, and they sell in half businesses them. And get for with that farmer where they go every now and then for and just say at least and get and do and subsistence farming daily activities and they comprise of the informal sector. So if this coronavirus don't hit, they find out most of the people not they able move from one place to the other for do them daily activities which of course then they lead to another shock towards the internal the economy itself.
So what's in the expectation of the way they run their SMEs here? Because if you look at the way the virus don't hit other countries and we don't reach them peak, Salone, plenty people believe we not reach in peak yet, but we all don't see how some of the challenges of the coronavirus don't they affect some of them business here. What's in the expectation of them moving forward now? Because we know say where the country go reach in peak, things go bad faster with it now.
Definitely, Sierra Leone not reach in peak, but in the area of the economy itself, Sierra Leone don't become highly hit, comprising the fact, which, just as we say, the spillover effect, wherein most of the goods we all know 60 to 70% of what we consume now from imported goods. Wherein we go to China, we go to America, with business people and they go from various countries for out goods now the country. And because of that, it don't hit the economy greatly because some time back, it is say like the National Revenue Authority, they mainly collect the taxes from the goods where then the business people they import. But now, even if you check through the National Revenue Authority, you find out for the past 3 months or so, enable to collect enough revenue. And we all know that revenues then they use for fund them budgets every year and for do some developmental strides across the country. So if at the end of the day, no able to collect enough revenue, then they know they happen. Now you try to ask about what's some of the expectation of the SMEs and the expectation of the SMEs now is for ensure that the government puts certain policies in place where we able to suit them so that they go able the businesses their business they go able to thrive at the end of the day. Because the truth is, if the business people if me not business person or because of this coronavirus, they find out most of their businesses, their restaurants, other businesses, so they don't halt. So the government need for they in the position for ensure say, them put mechanisms in place by boosting some of those SMEs, by giving them loans or liquidate some.
Yes, would they come to the recommendations there, so by giving them loans? And this maker come with Nicholas Ekamara again, CEO of Vision Investments, lecturer from IPAM. You mainly therefore talk about the impact of COVID-19 on SMEs. Before the COVID-19, we get the move of government for local content and all these things promoting SMEs. Now, before the COVID-19, wouldn't have been the trend apart from like or putting together government efforts for promoting SMEs here? So, who speak you think see them been the as this na your area of focus?
Before the outbreak of this COVID-19, everybody be don dey see that graduate youth don dey embrace entrepreneurship, and they don dey go into purely on SMEs. First of all, before going much on this, I want to tell people wetin na SME. I want to talk about SME. These are small and medium enterprises where they form the greater impact for the sustainability and growth of every nation, including Sierra Leone. So, before this outbreak, these SMEs don dey create a level playing field for graduates wey don dey go in for jobs wey no be able to get a job of their choice. So therefore, with short an outbreak of COVID-19 really don't create a big panic. What did happen before the outbreak within the SMEs? Government, other donor funded partners like World Bank, IMF, DFID, they know the CC with the support of graduates for going to entrepreneurship through SMEs. They create a big impact towards the growth and development of Sierra Leone. So the trend was positive, and people don't embrace them. They don't see the need for going to a business, and even government don't realize the profit way then they gain from them small buy and sell so. But with the outbreak of COVID-19, really don't create a big threat for not only for the management but the operations and the sustainability of these SMEs.
Before the COVID-19, look at the contribution of the SMEs here, so towards national development and economic growth.
Before COVID-19 and any other time, SMEs, according to Dr. Sandi, when the President Minister of Lands, he writes in book on his own PhD thesis. He says SME they serve as a flow of like a blood where they flow within the human system towards any economic growth and development. So what did the type of say? When you look at 80% of all activities within Sierra Leone or within Africa or West Africa are mainly geared towards SMEs operations. So therefore, it is say SME operations they create a job for youth. SME they create domestic revenue mobilization. SME they create social livelihood. It also leads to standard of living. SME they create political stability. Because in one of the professors they will write about SMEs, say when an idle mind say what the devil workshop. You see, so when Africans embrace the operations and management of SME, they lead to a stable environment, because the youth then will become engaged, and every morning they get to sign, they go buy and sell. So the positive impact of SME to the economy is beaucoup. Okay.
In name na Nicholas Ekamara, CEO of Vision Investments. In our wonderful guest in the edition of the program, Good Morning Salone, as we talk on the impact of the COVID-19 on the economy, especially in the area of SMEs, and small businesses. The program na Good Morning Salone. We continue to look at more issues inside the program. The coordinator for the National Response Center, retired Brigadier Kelly Conte, say out of the 50 cases where the country don't record, 35% now from contract tracing, where they don't able to detect them. Retired Brigadier Kelly Conte talk this way, then operate journalism now the Ministry of Information and Communication, then conference all about development and the fight against COVID-19. Elizabeth Campbell gets more Iguna reports.
This na updates where the government through the Ministry of Information and Communications can give to journalists them for make the public know about the developments where they be na the fight against COVID-19.
With 7 new cases, all epi-linked to previous cases. The total number of contacts stand at 1,134, with 811 still under surveillance nationwide. We have run a total of 1,244 tests to date, 4% of which has been positive. Of the 50 cases, 35 are from contact lists, 70%. 9 are imported cases in quarantine, representing 18%. 2 cases likely imported but were outside of our quarantine, 4%. And 4 cases with questionable transmission sources still under investigation.
Voice of the coordinator for the National Response Center, retired Brigadier Kelly Conte, where they give updates but outside the country day for fete this week. Retired Brigadier Kelly Conte carry on for talk about the team them where the operation center don't they give strength to na the fight against COVID-19.
We've increased our contact tracing capacity. We have been able to trace all contacts so far, with 70% of our cases coming from those contacts. Testing capacity has also improved. There are now 4 labs currently running and have been able to test 1,244 samples to date. Our initial turnaround time was 24 hours when we started, but has now been improved to 12 hours. We can now have our results the 14-day plan. Our future plans, as we see cases rising, we are acting accordingly to prepare ourselves. We are identifying large isolation facilities for every district as we speak. We are also expanding our treatment centers nationwide. We now have 3 hospitals providing treatment to patients: 34 Military Hospital, Juwe, and Lunge, with currently 25% occupancy. Within 2 weeks, we will add an additional 2 hospitals as treatment centers, and we will continue to expand this nationwide. We must ensure these contacts are quarantined so that they do not pose a risk to others.
As the number of contacts they go up na quarantine home them, retired Brigadier Kelly Conte say now one big challenge for them.
As the number of contacts grow, quarantining has been a challenge for us. We are actively working to establish additional quarantine facilities that are safe and comfortable. We will also need local leadership and support to isolate people locally and safely. We are working with WHO, Africa CDC, and other partners to bring more tests, and we have just received a shipment today from Jack Ma Foundation. We are working to activate additional district labs in Bombali, Cambia, Bo, Kailaung, and at Oladurin. This is why we need everyone to limit their contact with others. We have now identified some high-risk areas for transmission based on cases to date and their contacts. We need cooperation of the public and these communities to ensure we can protect them.
Professor Alpha Tijanwuri, now the Minister of Health and Sanitation, say the political will day for fight against this sick. We make it say they don't train but 174 people and say other complaining in a salon where they make hand sanitizer but test kits and one big challenge.
We were talking about the strengths and we've highlighted a few, indicating that for case management with the core people of 3, we were able to continue to train, and we have now put together 174 people that can now actually go out and work and help those that would be sick. Another strength, there is a company called Sunbird, and Sunbird prepare 98% ethanol in country, indicating that Sierra Leone can be able to make its own hand sanitizers in country. 2 companies have already demonstrated the capability as I speak, Shankadas and World Minders. But there is a weakness, and the weakness we have to recognize as a nation. And the key weakness is the availability of test kits. Even when cash is available to buy, the queue to be able to get test kits is becoming progressively difficult to handle.
We able to talk about the couple of them we don't come inside for fight against COVID-19. Jacob Jusu Safas, now the Minister of Finance, say governments don't put more cup up on the fight against COVID-19.
The preparedness and the response of COVID is funded by the government from the budget and from partners. When we started, the entire operations was directed by the Minister of Health. For quarantine and few other things for preparedness, we disbursed 5 billion total. In charge is about 5 times. When the ESK was created, we opened a special account and a savings account for COVID-19, and we deposited in that account 25 billion. What we disbursed so far is about about 15 billion from that account. I just instructed 10 billion to be sent to that COVID account. As directed by the President, we always want to make sure there's money available when requested. And it is that account where all donations from public people locally are deposited. As I speak to you, my figures here, with some of the donations that have come yesterday or today, what we have received from private people is slightly less than 5 billion.
Mohamed Rahman Sware, that the Minister of Information and Communications, talk about government's commitment for fight COVID-19 at the country.
This is, like I mentioned in the beginning, keeping our operations transparent so that every Sierra Leonean, wherever you are, clearly understands that this government treats the business of the health and well-being of Sierra Leoneans very seriously. At the outset of the coronavirus, we had 1 ventilator. We have in excess of 15 now and still counting. Government had to use hard and resources to procure those. 59 years on, at the outbreak of the COVID-19, we had only 1 ventilator. As Sierra Leoneans, we have to lend our utmost support to this fight. This is a good Sierra Leonean fight, and for that reason, we appreciate all your efforts.
And inside this press conference, the minister be announced say the president don't appoint the Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister, Solomon Jameru, for be the new spokesman for COVID-19 na Salone. Other speaker them way they part of the response center be answer to question them wey journalists be ask them, we climax the program. For Radio Democracy, Mina Elizabeth Campbell they reports.
The program is still listening to na Good Morning Salone. In case you get any question or comments, so may go na 0779819181. Send a message and be part of the program, or go na Radio Democracy 98.1 Facebook page and add your voice to Tinem we will discuss na the program this morning. I come over to the other studio guest again, we na Christopher Hajibul Kaloko, in na the Executive Director Network for Development Sierra Leone SEF, na member na the Sierra Leone Association of Economists. We will look at the effects where the coronavirus don't get on Salone economy so far. As we all know, Salone and other countries they struggle now for fight the coronavirus for ensure say affect the country the economy past how it already don't affect them. So now as economists, waiting on can they expect of governments and where they run the economy in then kind of difficult time here in terms of managing for ensure say they sustain the economy for letting not go down past how we do.
Well, fully then just review the policies then, where they be done the operation over the course of time, because this is not an emergency and it required emergency response effectively. And we get various policies then where they play interconnectedly in the economy, ranging from the monetary policy, the fiscal policy, the financial regulation policy, the trade policy, and the industrial policy. Them policies, they are all they play a key role towards national economy. Now, let's talk about the monetary policy, which of course government don't put certain measures in place where they really don't try in that regard. Where before even the COVID-19 they hit, they know say definitely because of the spillover effect we get for happen from various countries and we get for affect Sierra Leone. So at the end of the day, through the Bank of Sierra Leone, they're able do certain mechanisms in place for ensure say at least then go stimulate the economy itself. Wherein they reduce the monetary policy rate from to 150 points. We are in the day 16.5%, now 15%. Then also then pump in 500 billion leons, we get for $50 million to production facility. Wherein if you are a business person or you get certain productions, then they go loan this particular money at a 9% interest rate. At the end of the day, you pay. But also it depends on how realistic it is and waiting are some of the criteria where people they go through for get access to that money there. That's my only question with regards to that particular area. Because if you don't say you don't create that particular money, now waiting are some of the criteria without not the beneficial, whose sectors more not the prioritize on for ensure say they able get this money. Then they also liquidate the banks then, which of course is a very good stride because one knows say most of the SMEs then they go take loans then from the banks there. But if you empower the banks then, you liquidate them or you reduce the interest rates, you understand? At the end of the day, the business person go able to go in a bank and go do in loan transaction easily. So it's very good. Also, you look at the fiscal aspect, the need for defer certain taxes. Even though we know say government they collect taxes from but at this point in time, the SMEs then they really struggle. If they do tax deferrals in the help the small business people where you plan to pay tax. For example, if you plan to pay tax this month, if they do and say, okay, pay tax after 6 months, definitely then they will help for lay the business people able stand at the end of the day. Then governments also need to put a proper monitoring space in the area of spreading information, which of course is very important, especially at this point in time, because most of the time they see a lot of social media outlets, they give various information, sometimes in the cause even unrest towards the society, and even in they get a spillover effect even towards the economy, because if certain information will not credible, at the end of the day, it's not good as a society. Where the government need to put proper monitoring system in place for ensure say then give credible information to society, so the populace at the end of the day.
Continue for the between at the studio, Christopher Haji Bukaloko, with a 30 short commercial break and continue with the program.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile app, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Ed Salite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
The program you listen to now, Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM, and we will bring you this edition of the program Good Morning Salone. Musa Eskamana Minim
and Mabel Kaba.
They continue with the program and come again to Ajibu as you the make key points then before we go for that break day. You talk about government tax deferral for 6 months for SMEs and other businesses. But when you look at that, you not think say it will get impact on the economy more because government they get or generate income through tax collection?
Yes. Well, life itself has to do with trade-offs. You understand? And better you get tax deferral for the 6 months than all the businesses the way they receive tax from then totally shut down. It all has to do with trade-off. You look at the impacts, you weigh the advantage